Well, hey kids, it is Jeff, and I'm back one final time with you this week for an application activity that, it has a little bit of a lame name. It's called Camp Share a Lot. But the activity isn't lame, so hang in there with me. Now, first of all, like we oftentimes do with these application activities, let's remember this is all about our main point for the week, which is to play on God's team. I need to share what I know and what I can do. And we've been talking all week long about how important that is, that we can't just accumulate a whole bunch of knowledge about Jesus and say, yes, I believe in Jesus, but then not actually put it into action. We have to do something about it. So today I want us to imagine that we are heading out for a camping adventure. I'm taking everybody with us. I don't know how I have room for all y'all in my van. Maybe we're renting a bus or something like that, but we're heading out camping, and I have all the materials that we need to camp with. I just have to share them with you. So we're going to walk along, and there's going to be some times when we need some things, and I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to allow you to have these things or not. So let's take a look at what sharing, what we have, what we can do, what we know can be like. So let's start out hiking. If anyone's ever gone backcountry camping, you don't just drive up to the campsite and then pop your tent down. You have to actually hike up to where you camp. I did that once in Wyoming. Actually, on my anniversary, my wife and I went, and we had about 2 miles to hike up in the mountains to where we could set our tent up. And you know, when you go hiking, one of the first things you wind up realizing is that you get thirsty, especially if you're carrying a bunch of gear. And something I know about hiking with kids, y'all get thirsty way quicker than I do when you start whining a little bit. I'm thirsty, like that. Now, anything up here that might help you with your thirst problem might be a little small to see, but right here I've got a canteen. Now, I could share this with you or not, but I'm a pretty nice feller, and so I'll be happy to. Now, can you imagine what would happen if I had water with me and I wouldn't give it to you when you were thirsty? You might not like me a whole lot, and man, it could be actually pretty dangerous if you don't get enough water, but I'm happy to share my canteen with you. Now, as we hike along, we see a snake blocking our path, and the snake is red, yellow, and black, has those stripes on it, and the red stripes touch the black stripes. If it's a poisonous snake, we're not going to be able to cross that path. We actually have to turn around and go back, maybe try to wait it out. Anyone see anything up here that could help us? Yeah, I've got something up here on snakes right here, and it says that red on black, venom lacks, but red on yellow, it kill a fellow. I said that our snake had red stripes that touched black, so it looks like the venom and lacks. Now, I'd be happy to share that knowledge with you. What would happen if I didn't share that knowledge? Well, a lot of bad things could happen. We could just give up and turn around for no reason, because this is not a poisonous snake. But maybe it was a poisonous snake. What if we tried to cross it thinking it wasn't poisonous? Man, someone could get really hurt. Good thing I shared my knowledge with you, right? Next, it starts to rain. Everyone will go camping when it starts to rain. It seems like almost every time I go camping, it starts to rain. We've got to have something to keep us all dry. Anyone see anything up here that can help? Yeah, I've got a couple things here. I've got a tarp right here, and I've got a tent right here. It must be a big tent for us all to fit in, but yeah, I've got these things. Now, I've done this before where I had to set up a tent in a pouring rainstorm. It was pretty funny, maybe after the fact, but it wasn't a whole lot of fun necessarily during it. But should I share this with you? Yeah, absolutely. What's the consequence if I don't? Everyone and everything gets wet. Your socks, your shoes, everything gets soaked, and that would not make for a whole lot of fun, right? Happy to share it though. Now, we're in such a hurry to put the tent up, we didn't notice we're right in the middle of a huge patch of vines. Now, if the vines are poison oak, we're going to have to see the nurse because we're going to start itching like crazy. Each of these vines have 4 leaves on a stem. Anything up here that you think could help? Yeah, I've got a picture of poison oak right here. And it looks like there is 1, 2, 3 leaves on each stem. We're safe. Now, should I share that knowledge with you? Yeah, of course I should. Because if I don't, what happens? Well, we're going to start pestering a nurse to help us when we don't really need to pester that nurse. And, if we get worried about, oh boy, I think that's poisonous, guess what? Some of us are just going to start itching like crazy anyways, even though we've had nothing poisonous on us. Just the thought of poison ivy or poison oak is going to drive us a little bit nuts. So definitely want to share our knowledge on this. Now the rain is over. We've had our water. We've set up. We've realized that we're not going to be itching to death. Now we're hungry. Now there's a stream nearby with fish in it. Boy, some fresh fish would be a great lunch on a camping trip. Anything here that you see that could help? Yeah, if we're gonna go fishing, we better have a fishing pole. Should I share this with you? Yeah, I probably should. Especially if I didn't bring any other lunch stuff with us, because otherwise we're all gonna get hungry. And then we're gonna get a little angry, and then probably hangry, right? It is not a lot of fun to be out in the woods with nothing to eat. Yikes. All right, now we've caught some fish. We've got to cut them up and cook them. Anything here that could help us? I see a couple things. I've got a frying pan right here. Unless you're planning to hold the fish or skewer it on a stick, you're going to need that. And, we've got a knife right here to help cut the fish up, because otherwise we're just ripping it open with our bare hands. So we're definitely going to need these things right here. And one other thing too, I see a camp stove right here, because we're going to need some sort of heat source right there. So I've got 3 things that are going to help us cut this fish up, stick it in a pan, and cook it. Should I share these things? Of course I should. If I don't, we're eating raw fish. We're just biting their heads off, arr, like that. Now this guy right here, my little raccoon friend, he would love to do that. But us, we probably wouldn't. We definitely want to share some of these things with you. Now lunch was great, but now it's getting hot out. I wish we could have a swing out into a swimming pool. I've got some rope with me. Anyone know how to build a swing? Well, as it happens, I do. I've built these things before, and I would be... this is hard to get off here. Who knew that magnets were so tough? Got it. All right. Swinging on a swing. Should I share that knowledge with you? Yeah, I probably should. Otherwise, we're just going to be hot and sweaty and not having a whole lot of fun. And that's really the bottom line with a lot of these things that I've shared. Either the trip could be dangerous or exhausting or just not a whole lot of fun if I don't share what I have and what I know. One last thing, after all the fun today, we got a little lost out there and need a way to get us back to camp. Anyone see anything up here that can help us? And both of these things can, right? We've got a compass right here. We've got a map right here. And should I share these with you? Yeah, right. Or otherwise, we can just wandering around in the dark. And in the dark, in the woods, is not a fun place to be, and it's not a safe place to be. Predators start to come out, and we don't want to be around those guys. We want to be back at camp. You know, our trip would not have gone very well if I had not shared with you all of the things that I could do, all of the things that I knew, and all of the things that I had packed with me. If I just brought them with me and didn't use them to help you, we wouldn't have had fun. And honestly, you would have said, you're being a bit of a jerk, and you would have been right. I mean, imagine if you're thirsty and I'm, guzzling water out of the canteen and I don't give you any. Or imagine if we're hungry and I've got that fresh fish and I start frying it up in the pan, but I don't give any to you. Man, that is not a very nice thing to do. It is not the kind of people that Jesus wants us to be. He wants us to be a people who share what we know, what we can do, and what we have with others, because that is what following Jesus is all about, using everything that God has blessed us with to care for others. It's been a great week. I'm glad that we had a chance to share this kind of hypothetical camping trip together. I'll see you again on Sunday as we share our kids' church experience here in the Super Sports Spectacular locker room. We connect with rookie and coach once more and learn another key idea of what it means to be on God's team. Bye-bye, everybody.